Caitlin Clark have a boatload of nationally televised games, including a bunch of games that are on actual three-letter networks, ABC, or ESPN, or CBS.
Did you know the Indiana Fever won't play in any arena smaller than 15,000 seats anymore? 6 WNBA teams are literally moving their games to bigger venues just to fit all of Caitlin Clark's fans. The league's attendance jumped 48% last year, and now Clark is expected to bring in 30% of all WNBA attendance by herself.
I don't know exactly what this woman's purpose is, all right? It's supposed to be some kind of a journalist, which, unfortunately, for as far as I'm concerned, that immediately knocks you down a peg these days.
That's right. One rookie is changing the entire business model of women's basketball overnight, but not everyone's happy about it. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Have you noticed how the WNBA is literally having to rebuild itself just to handle one rookie? It's wild.
It's ESPN's 4 letters, but you get the point. They have some of the same kind of reach, or a very large reach, for their potential viewing audience, right? This is a cousin of Renee Montgomery, who is one of the quote-unquote owners that came out and trashed Caitlin Clark fans last year for the Atlanta Dream.
The league is experiencing something we've never seen before. Teams are actually abandoning their home courts just to accommodate the flood of fans wanting to see Caitlin Clark play. This isn't just a slight venue upgrade we're talking about. 6 WNBA teams, Atlanta, Chicago, Connecticut, Dallas, Las Vegas, and Washington, are completely relocating their games against the Fever to massive NBA-sized arenas. Let me break down what's actually happening here. These teams aren't just moving to slightly bigger venues, they're going to full-blown NBA arenas that can hold over 15,000 fans. The Connecticut Sun is even leaving their entire city, heading to Boston's TD Garden for Clark's games. That's like a team saying, our entire city isn't big enough for Caitlin Clark. Before Clark came along, WNBA games were averaging around 6,000 fans per game. Now, teams are preparing for crowds 3 times that size when the Fever comes to town. Some executives aren't even hiding it anymore. They're openly saying they'd rather sacrifice home court advantage than miss out on the ticket sales Clark generates. Money talks.
She just tells it, comes out and says it, exposes herself. They're hating on Caitlin Clark because of her skin color. The fact is, I think she speaks for a lot of people in the legacy WNBA media or some kind of media, period. Well, let me start here. The Indiana Fever will make up 40% of all WNBA games on ESPN and ABC. There's also games on ION and CBS as well.
Look at these moves. Atlanta Dream to State Farm Arena, Chicago Sky to United Center, Las Vegas Aces to T-Mobile Arena. These are huge venues that normally host NBA or NHL games. What's crazy is that just last year, many of these teams acted like Clark's arrival was no big deal. They kept saying the league was already doing great without her, but now their actions are telling the real story. The Phoenix Mercury and Seattle Storm were already playing in NBA arenas. Add the 6 teams moving their games for Clark, and that means every single WNBA team will play in NBA-sized venues when facing the Fever. Not a single small gym on Clark's entire schedule. When has that ever happened for a rookie in any sport? Some analysts aren't holding back, calling Clark a walking stimulus package for the WNBA. Teams that normally struggle to get 3,000 fans are now preparing for crowds of 17,000 when she visits. The league's attendance jumped 48% last year, and experts are saying Clark alone might generate 30% of all WNBA attendance this season. One player responsible for nearly a third of the entire league's attendance? That's unheard of. The television landscape for women's basketball just got completely flipped upside down. While Clark is packing arenas, she's causing an even bigger earthquake in the broadcasting world. The Indiana Fever will appear on national television an incredible 41 times this season. Just let that sink in for a second. That's more national TV exposure than some WNBA franchises have received over the past 10 years combined. We're watching the media playbook get torn up and rewritten in real time. You know what's wild about this? Just last year, networks treated the Fever like an afterthought. Now, they've become the hottest property in women's sports overnight. ESPN, ABC, CBS, and NBA TV are literally fighting over who gets to broadcast Indiana's games. The team transformed from background noise to the main event in a matter of months. This TV takeover isn't happening without some serious drama behind the scenes. Picture yourself as a veteran WNBA star who spent years grinding to build your reputation. You fought for respect, for coverage, for recognition, and suddenly a rookie walks in and gets all the primetime slots while your games get pushed to obscure time slots or streaming-only options. That's the reality for established stars right now, and it's creating massive tension. The networks aren't even pretending to be subtle about it. ABC specifically demanded games featuring the Fever against the Chicago Sky because they know the Clark-Reese rivalry delivers ratings gold. CBS snatched up the matchups against the New York Liberty, while ESPN secured the Las Vegas Aces showdowns. Every scheduling decision is laser-focused on one thing: maximizing Clark's viewership potential. Here's what makes this situation so complicated. Last season, the WNBA tried the balanced approach, giving equal promotional attention to multiple stars. But the viewing data told a clear story. Fans tuned in specifically for Clark and skipped almost everything else. The league had no choice but to adapt their strategy accordingly. This creates a seriously awkward dynamic. Every time Clark's face appears on another promotional billboard or gets another primetime slot, it widens the gap between her and the rest of the league's players. But the WNBA desperately needs those ratings boosts to remain relevant in the crowded sports landscape. The Tiger Woods comparison isn't just hype. Caitlin Clark really is transforming women's basketball like nobody before her. What's fascinating now is watching league executives scrambling to handle this one-player phenomenon. They're openly admitting they need to find balance, promoting Clark's star power without making the other players feel like sidekicks in their own league. This creates a fascinating dilemma. The WNBA absolutely needs Clark's magnetism to attract new viewers and fill those giant arenas. But at the same time, they can't just become the Caitlin Clark show without alienating veterans who built this league. Imagine working your whole career to become an all-star, only to have all the spotlight shift to a rookie. The Clark era is reshaping everything, from ticket sales to broadcasting to marketing strategy. The league now faces its biggest opportunity ever, but with it comes serious growing pains. Will the WNBA figure out how to use Clark's fame to elevate everyone? Or will this create a divided league of Clark and everybody else? That tension will define women's basketball for years to come.